Out where the bobs don't show their face, we built a home in this hectic space. No law to bind us, no chain will hold. It's our crew that's worth more than gold. We fight side by side, never alone. The verse is harsh, but we've made it our own. Through fire and wreckage, through thick and thin, victory is owed to loyalty and discipline. With blood and steel, our lives we stake. Committed to the cause, no bond will break. We fly as one, we'll never fall. In Hellstern's name we answer the call. Out here we're free, but the price is steep. It's blood and steel where the strong don't sleep. No tricks can buy what we've earned in the black. The scars we carry we won't give back. Through every fight, through every war, we hold the line, we settle the score. The Idris rides like a king in the night. With Hellstern's crew, we're ready to fight. It's not just the wrecks or the spoils we seek, it's the loyalty that makes us strong, not weak. With blood and steel, our lives we stake. Committed to the cause, no bond will break. We fly as one, we'll never fall. In Hellstern's name we answer the call. Out here we're free, but the price is steep. It's blood and steel where the strong don't sleep. Thrown the fire of battle, we find our way. Where others fall, we choose to stay. It's not just ships, it's not just pride, it's the brotherhood where our strength resides. Western star fields bright and space so dark. We light our way with a burning spark. For every ship we tear apart, it's the trust in Hellstern that beats in our hearts. We're bound not by law, but by trust and blood. Forged in battle through the thickest mud. When the verse pushes back, we stand as one. Hellstern's crew won't ever run, will never run. With blood and steel, our lives we stake. Committed to the cause, no bond will break. We fly as one, we'll never fall. In Hellstern's name we answer the call. Out here we're free, but the price is steep. It's blood and steel where the strong don't sleep. With blood and steel we'll claim our rights. The price we pay for futures bright. With Hellstern's might we seize our place as sovereign lords throughout this space.
All right. I remember this time, guys. We have audio. So, welcome back to
Woohoo!
another welcome back to another Captain's Log podcast. Uh, Today is Wednesday. We are 9:14 p.m. Eastern, so we are a little late. Sorry about that, guys. Acid, let me know when you have your camera ready, and I will get that.
It is good. You should be good.
Oh, all right. Yep, give me 1 second to get you back up. Um, I do not have your feed.
What?
Just make sure it's set in the. Anyways, yeah, make sure it's set in the website. Make sure it's pulling the right camera. You want to be pulling your new software. Anyways, the topic for today. Better than a dog with 2 rockets. All right. The topic for today is, in case you haven't noticed, bugs. Bugs and bugs. Lots and lots of bugs. In Star Citizen right now in 4.0.0. So we're going to be addressing the bug fixes coming in 4.0.1. Maybe some of the new content, but I mean, kind of like what the title says, I really feel like Star Citizen is turning into more of a helldivers. Every time you log in, just you're fighting bugs right off the rip. You don't even get a chance to get out of bed sometimes. Like you're just right in the thick of it. So we are going to talk about our experiences. We're going to talk about the bug fixes and hopefully some things in the coming feature of 4.0.1. Also, we're also going to be talking about some of the changes that'll be coming to this channel. Most particularly, changes to the channel as a whole, not necessarily the stream. The stream will continue as is. But yeah, we'll touch on that a little bit later. Let me go ahead and pull up our list of bug fixes. Actually, you know what? Let's just talk about the bugs we're experiencing. We'll see if the list of bug fixes covers any of those. Acid, since your camera is off and you're fixing that, we're going to go right on up to Overseer. We'll come back around to you. Overseer, talk about some of your experiences in 4.0 right now on a day-to-day.
Well, I mean, everybody, it seems we're experiencing not being able to get out of the hab units. Waking up in a hab with someone standing in front of you and you can't even move out of your hab.
I
So
mean, I
that's
don't
been
know
a
if that's
fun
a
one.
is that really a bug though? I mean, I feel
I
like
mean, they
that's
could be
kind of what
crashed
they
out technically.
intended. But I mean, I can
I
definitely
would
see
count
the
it as
annoyance.
bugs.
Honestly, I wake up with them in front of me going, "Huh, I wonder how it was. Was I drugged?"
Well, I mean, so what happened earlier? I wake up in a
Was
in a
was it a
bed
good
and then I
night?
get force pushed out of the station, which
Or
I
oof.
mean,
I
okay,
mean,
yeah, I got out of
that's
hab.
some Star Wars shit.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry,
I'm
I
like, at
continue.
mean,
least
Stop.
poke me first.
it
I'll
could be the
stop.
direct result of someone being crashed out from a bug. So technically, I mean, it almost is a bug in itself, and you being directly affected by it.
No,
Yep.
I agree. So here's the thing, and I've pointed this out in our private conversations too. There are 10 floors to all of these stations, and on each floor there's at least 15 different rooms, right? So if that's 150 people it can accommodate in one go, in a single second or moment in time, I guess. We'll say a couple minutes because some people, take the time to put gear on inside the habs. But those rooms are so narrow. I don't understand why they can't widen them a little bit to give people more room in the event that that shit does happen. So I agree. I think something needs to be done about it. Whether it's a bug or intended, I think there needs to be a fix.
How much is your rent at your habs?
Oh, you don't even want to know.
Yeah, fair.
Well,
Well,
he's back
if
up.
you
I'm
want
always
wider
broke.
rooms, then you're gonna pay higher rent.
I'm always broke, dude. Like, I don't know, somewhere in the couple hundred
Sounds
thousand.
guilty. The couple, well, that's
Speaking of broke, all right. Here's the next thing. Logging on today, going from 300 grand to 11 grand. That's a bug.
Heard.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
yeah.
that seems to be. I wouldn't say it's isolated. I think it's it's an issue, but it seems to be an issue that is not widespread yet.
Yeah.
I haven't logged in
I've
myself, so I updated the game, but I haven't logged in today, so I'm kind of worried to see where I'm at because I'm at least a couple million right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
I
just
was worried because I
re-downloaded.
bought a bunch of ships last night. I bought 2, 4, I bought 6 ships last night and then kitted them all out with what I wanted them to have. And I was like, when he told me that, I was like, oh dear God, let me have my ships. And I had them, and I had my money, which was great. Unfortunate for him, but good for me.
Yeah, my ship seemed fine.
Well,
It
hold
had,
on.
I mean, had all the stuff, the loadout and everything on it that I needed.
Sorry, I'm reading chat, guys. I apologize. I'm giggling at Keezy's comments. He was talking when we were talking about the halves. He says that he wakes up and wonders if Quebec left this gap.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
I
yeah.
believe so. We call him the gap layer.
I don't even know how that associates, but okay.
He's the
He's out
gap
there
daddy.
laying gaps.
As it has that camera coming.
My camera's up. Like, I don't know if you guys can see my camera on the
Yeah,
little thing,
I can
but
see it.
I don't know. I don't know what else
Let
to
me.
do.
No, it's black for me. I see the camera available,
That's
but it's
weird.
dark. So give me
See, I
one
can see him,
second.
no problem. I even had to mute him again.
But this brief technical difficulty is brought to you by the last chance sale. Is that what it's called?
In case you
The
missed
last
it.
Yes,
chance.
that
The last chance sale.
the last chance sale. We are not sponsored by CIG, but in the event that you have missed a ship sale this year in 2024, go right now to the RSI website and you will find the ship you missed right back where it belongs in the store.
Yep. Right there.
Are
right
you
now.
are you sure that CIG didn't work on the camera source thing that you're running this through?
That
Who
they might
knows? I
have.
don't know. I mean, it's free, so probably not.
Well, that's there. There it is. The in case you missed it sale. That was the name of it, by the way. In case you missed it.
Okay, I got your video back, so we will get you popped in right now. Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Hey, your lag time's actually coming pretty good. There was only like a 3-second delay there versus
Yeah,
normal.
that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah,
Um.
usually I've got about a 10 to 15.
All right, Stompy.
Yes.
You've been out in the verse and in the thick of it, trudging through the trenches and the mud. What bugs have you come across?
Oh man.
I'm sorry. Let me put it a different way. What's been working correctly for you? I think that might be a shorter list.
A routine. That's the best way I say you could possibly. Proper prevention. I don't know. How's it go? Proper preparedness. You know what I mean, right? That one saying?
Yeah, when
Right.
luck meets opportunity, you're prepared. Something like that.
No,
No,
proper
that sounds too intelligent.
preventative
We don't do that.
preparedness. Oh, something like that. Anyways, just make sure you're prepared. You know what you're gonna get yourself into, bugs you're gonna run into, and do everything in an NPC fashion. You have a strict set amount of rules for yourself to enjoy what you want to do, because if you go outside those rules, outside that box, there's no going back. And of course, there's always time for exploration. But if you're trying to get a goal done, don't get sidetracked. If you want to
All
go
right.
PVE, go PVE. But bugs wise, I mean, it's just small things like MFD, not um, I guess going black screens. This goes for
Reminds me.
all you guys. I'm sure you've had it happen. There's always the recent hiccups over in stations that pretty much cause your possibly crash, and you have to just off the wheel, let it ride out, pray to God, forwards. Um, Other bugs, I mean, FPS wise, everything's pretty smooth. I'm not gonna lie, I've been grinding a lot of Von missions. The bunker, not both Crusader and Ninetales have been pretty solid. Other than the NPCs loading in elevators, which take full advantage of course, to do that kills free money. Otherwise, I haven't been getting crashed out as often. It definitely has happened to me. From experience, and it's happened to others, being to the point of being unable to. So I mean, um, honestly, except for that, thank God hangers have been working. There've been a couple times I've had a heart attack or two coming out the hanger, but then it flips right back into being fully wide open. I just
I mean,
burn
I
out
will
and
say
just get out. So I mean, I can't complain.
I've noticed that the hangar doors are a little bit, just a little bit more reliable. Like, you know, they you can finally actually get out on a more regular basis. Like things are a bit more delayed, but the interior and exterior doors of the station are finally opening.
Mhm.
Yes,
That's
and sometimes twice. You know,
Right.
sometimes your
Yeah.
hanger
yeah, that's what I
opens,
mean. Yeah,
and then your
Right,
hanger
right.
opens again.
I know it's really not. I mean, you know, layered hangars. What are you gonna do?
Mhm. Extra armored protection.
So I'm actually I'm trying to find the clip, and I may not find it before this is even done or we've passed the topic, but I'm trying to find the clip of CIG during CitizenCon talking about the new MFDs and how you'll be able to save your MFD settings when you get into your ship, and you can save it on a per ship basis. Now, the per ship
yeah.
basis seems to be making sense, except for the fact that nothing saves, right? So you go into Quantum, and you come back out of Quantum into Nav, and you are right back where you started. You have to set everything all back up again. Or fucking you power your ship down and then you power back on and your settings are back to default again. Or you get out of your ship and you get back in and nothing is the same. Like, it is just an absolute horrendous mess with the MFDs. I mean, I love their optimism going, oh yeah, it'll finally save. You can have all of these settings. Now, one other thing that they said is you can export, like, you save these settings for that specific ship type, right? And you can import them to another ship of that same type. And then that's not true either.
Oh, but they forgot to mention the but wait, there's more portion of these MFDs will save, but when you're going between
But
servers in the
wait,
shard,
there's
psych,
more.
you
Yeah,
lose your
right.
settings. They don't even stay when you hop back to the other shard too, the other server in the shard. Out of what there's like
Oh
three
no,
or
I
six
mean
servers in the
simply
shard. Sorry.
simply just changing modes fucks your settings.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only
Exactly.
thing that persists about your MFDs is like the actual placement of them. So if you want power management top left and you want self status top right, those will stay. Anything you do within those MFDs will change. Even like your advanced HUD. Like you can put advanced HUD on in game settings as always. But then when you start swapping between modes, because it's an option in your HUD as well in one of your MFDs, that shit turns on. And it's like, and in 4.0.1, they're supposed to be fixing it, and there's supposed to be fixes for it, but that's to be seen yet. Like I've heard a lot of problems with PTU, and that's still not working properly. So who knows how long that'll take?
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
just one of the many. Like
Another
there's
bug.
also still the jump gate bug. Like as well as the jump gate works, you know, and honestly, all things considered, the jump gate works really fucking good. But there is still a bug with it sometimes where you go all the way through and then you end up over here. Like you end up right back where you started for no fucking reason. Like you did a perfect run and you're just right back. So it's like that needs to be fixed. But
All right, so let me go ahead and put these 4.0.1 bug fixes up on the screen. Now, one of these has been out for a while, since January 9th. The other one has been out since today. So let's go ahead and put those up on the screen. And there we go. For those of you here with me, those links are in the chat. You can pull those up and view them for yourself, or you can watch them on stream here. The text on stream, I apologize, is actually really kind of tiny, so bear with me. We'll do our best to read them out. So we're going to go through, we're not going to read them all, we're going to cherry pick. So Stompy, get yours open. Overseer, Acid, get yours open. Find some bugs that interest you the most, that you're most excited about being fixed.
is it the top one or is it the second one you sent?
Both. They're two separate.
Both.
So the top one should be
Oh.
the first one from the 9th, and the second one should be from today.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the first one from the 9th.
That's the top one. Okay, got you. Cool.
So both of these are by Wikipedia, I believe. Yes. And so we're going to just scroll through these real quick. The one from the 9th has the biggest amount of bug fixes, and some of them are actually pretty
Wow.
exciting. Fucking Wikipedia has to make 2 posts on this one.
Jesus, that's a lot of fucking
Bug.
bug fixes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with not the bug fixes and the features in gameplay because there's not many of them.
Well, I mean, we can do
Like
that.
the quasi grazers animation polish pass. We've got the animation of the quasi grazers fixed.
yeah,
Thanks, guys, for the animation.
Because we needed
Quasi
that.
grazer.
No one really, everyone was waiting for that.
So
ahead.
okay, ships and vehicle gameplay enabled handyman missions. Okay, whatever. Harvestables to pyro rock caves. Okay, whatever. Ships and vehicles. The first one, Starfighter Ion, the bear laser cannon charge mechanics removed and DPS rebalanced. So the Ion has had a change to it.
So this has been talked about by other content creators, but it's always good to have opinions from more perspectives. So, Acid, I know you had the ship for a little bit, and
Yep,
give
literally
me
just
your
got rid of it
opinions.
today.
Well, I guess that's all we need to
had
know.
The ship.
That's all we need to know. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
Go ahead.
I got it under the idea of like maybe it'll be like it used to be because in the old model, you know, you could go out with an Ion and you could do pretty well against anybody if you were skilled enough. That it is not the case now. Like you just it'd be decent if it's in the right context. Maybe it has help from friends or whatever the case may be, but the fact that the charge is gone, I agree with. I think that's good. The charge was dumb. There's no reason to have that there. The DPS balance, I think if anything, I think technically the DPS is better now. So it's good, but it's still not like it's not gonna be a fucking all out machine. You know, it's nothing fancy. It's just they made a change to the ship and maybe you'll see it a little more because people really hated the charge. And I think I don't see it in the list, but I know there was a change to the to its brother as well. So that change, those two changes together, maybe you see a couple more out, maybe you see a couple fighting bigger ships as bigger ships come out, you know. I don't think it's a huge deal, really. It's notable, but it's just a mid-tier ship. That ship sits right there at like C. It's right in the middle of C.
I mean,
as well as the ship right below it.
I thought it sat right in the middle of a scud pie.
I mean, it could be below. It could be a D, honestly. It's not that great. What it has going for it more than its gun is its amount of missiles. It has a lot of big missiles, and that's cool. But
yeah, but
and then
I
next
mean, you
to
can get the same effect with the Cuddy Blue.
Exactly. There's a lot of other ships that are going to do a good job. Firebird, which is what I traded my Ion in for. So
you kept the missiles, got rid of the gun, and called it even.
Yeah. Got speed and agility, and kept all the missiles. So, and the Guardian is another one they mentioned. Greatly increased MAV and retro thruster health.
So
are you on the
light? Are you on the one from
9th.
today?
The 9th. Yeah.
I'm on
January
9th.
Okay, got it. Ships and vehicles.
Does not look like what you have pulled.
He's on the second one, I think.
I'm just reading the features and gameplay.
January 9th, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit down. Features and gameplay locations. Then you see gameplay. I'm reading the ships and vehicles bullet point.
Yep, I'm tracking with you. You're good.
So
you're talking about
the Guardian
now?
That's another one. New ship recently out, also available with the fucking in case you missed it sale.
Yep.
It's a fine ship, and I think the changes they made, one they don't say here, but I know they say somewhere else, and we may see it later, but we'll address it now. They 22 times the health of the dampener because I guess it was that fucking weak. And Kelbeck, you had said earlier before the stream that, you know, you would take one missile in a Guardian QI and boom, you're done. And so that was probably
completely
needed.
Shut off.
Yeah. So that's probably needed. The cockpit light and the player view glow reduced by 90% strength. I didn't recognize that problem. I didn't see a cockpit glow. So, okay. And a chaff and countermeasure polish. I mean, unless it's actually going to do something against the broken missiles, that means nothing.
Yeah,
that's just
right.
Okay, cool.
So we're gonna keep their effectiveness really weak, and we're just gonna reduce the number that you have. So good luck. Goodbye.
Exactly.
Actually, we don't know what the polish means. We don't know whether they increased or decreased it, but
I see, and if I had to make a guess, they probably didn't change the count numbers. They probably just like changed an animation, the way it comes out and the
it's a
way it
bit more
looks when you
sparkly. They
fire them
said they
off.
polished it.
Woohoo!
All right, enough of my wordplay.
They have like some ground vehicle changes. The ballista gets personal storage. That's cool. Tumbrel Nova gets personal storage. Nomad gets personal storage. Mantis gets personal storage. As a Mantis pilot, I appreciate that.
You know, I think it's funny they're touching these vehicles with personal storage, but they're not gold standarding any of these, so you still can't pull modules out of them.
Yeah, not cool, man.
We're gonna give you a locker. So I know we took away your once you step in the ship, you have an internal ship inventory, but we're gonna give it back to you in the form of go to a specific spot of the ship, and then you have an internal inventory. But we're not gonna let you pull your modules out of your ship physically, so we're not gonna gold standard any of this stuff. But we're gonna touch it
No.
all. We're just not gonna gold standard it.
No, but why would we?
No, of course,
They
no.
should just
It-
gold
oh, by the
standard
way,
ships instead of release ships.
Yeah.
in case you guys were wondering, we're now up to $777 million for this game, as of the 22nd today.
What?
Right, 777. It's a lucky numbers. Sorry, go ahead.
Release some quota billion.
That'd be great.
Uh,
That way I can shut people down that says it's made 800 million. I'm like, nope, not yet. Not yet.
Well,
I haven't made that much. In
Almost.
fact,
Nice
you're
try.
incorrect.
Look, horseshoes
Your complaint is
almost only
now
counts in
invalid.
horseshoes and hand grenades. You're not quite at 800 million yet.
That's true. Not there. Can't say it. You're a liar.
Oh, they added
Every dollar
announcers.
counts.
Apparently, we needed announcers for the Defender, the Scout, the Nox, and the Nox. You need announcers
No.
for the Nox?
Why do you need an announcer for the Nox?
Sorry, enunciators, whatever.
What
same
is
thing.
what is that? What is an enunciator?
So, like I'd imagine it's systems turning on, systems shutting off because of defect, whatever.
Oh,
It's the audio feedback from your ship.
wait. So like we're gonna have like a voice for the Banu Defender now. It's
I
not just gonna
imagine
be
so.
all crab.
I don't know.
They put the pulse in. The pulse is available in game now. So
Yep.
trade your fucking tokens up, boys. You don't need that ship in your hangar anymore.
Yep, you can take your pulse and you can go ahead and go buy one. By the way, this is just maybe that's all models of the pulse. They don't specify.
I
But yeah,
assume it's both. Yeah,
Tokenize.
or all.
you
The
now
next
have-
one is weird, and I don't understand. I think that's a lie, or that they're mistaken or something, because the F7C nose turret is already in stores in the game. You can buy it at the Stanton jump gate right now.
Is
But
it
they
Mark
don't
1 or
work,
Mark 2?
technically.
Exactly. The F7C nose turret, the Mark 1, that turret right there, what it's called. You can
It's
buy it
across the
right
board.
now. Yeah, but it does not work. You cannot put it on in your mobiGlass, and you cannot put it on via tractor beam.
Remember,
So, like,
this is
them-
4.0.1 we're talking about.
Well, I know, and in 4.0.0, we can buy it. So them to just say added to shops,
Yeah,
it's
maybe
already
they
in the
worded
shop.
it poorly, honestly. They
That's
should
what I think.
Okay, so
I
that's okay. Yeah, I agree.
I love this next section. Please tell me how that's necessary in Arena Commander.
Added Polaris captain seat to
Captain
crew
seat.
options in AC multi-crew. I mean, listen, RPers gonna RP. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, where
I
else?
think they need to work on quality of life with server maintenance before they get into quality
Yeah,
of life.
I
of, we've
don't
added
know.
we've added a captaincy.
the captaincy option to be able to crew it in Arena Commander because that was needed.
So under Core Tech, we have 3 things. Now we have added pyro-specific quantum travel music, light entity optimizations, rogue lighting, and entity cleanup around Stanton landing zones. Okay,
Thank
so
God
let's
for that last one.
the last 2, I'm gonna say were definitely needed because we all know that lighting can make or break any scene, right? When
Mhm.
we're in our ship and we're coming over the horizon and we have those shafts of light, or we're sitting in a zone where light is reflecting off of all surfaces, we're sitting in a shaded area, but we're getting secondary light off of a bounced surface, from a direct light source through a window. It really makes the scene, whether you are
Yeah.
a PvP or PvE or whether you're artistic or not. It makes no difference. Your eyes, your brain perceives these inputs regardless of whether you care about them or not. All right. So I think those were necessary. Now the pyro specific quantum travel music. I saw
I
a
love
creator,
that.
I can't
I'm
remember
happy
who it
about it.
was. I can't remember who it was, but I saw a creator play some of that music and my immediate thoughts were,
I
okay.
mean, I would
A little
definitely
bit
might
too
change my
underwhelmed.
opinion if I hear it, but the fact that when I get to pyro and the music changes in the jump gate and it's all cool and stuff, and then as soon as I go to jump from pyro to insert your favorite pyro place here, it's automatically back to Stanton vibes. So that for the sense of differentiating system versus system and bringing more and more of that element of pyro is
But
pyro.
here's the thing with that quantum travel music, right? Um you already we've already talked about music for pyro, right?
Yeah.
Every location you go to, combat music, like I could have swore that we already had quantum travel music. I didn't notice any difference.
Not for quantum travel. Everything else had music, and at the beginning they were playing a different music than the Stanton music. Something changed, and then you just started hearing Stanton music during your quantum travels. And it was just that, because as soon as you get out, like Bloom, for example, Bloom is like my favorite fucking pyro soundtrack. And when you get to Bloom and you pop out, like you go from that Stanton like da, 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 and then you get to Bloom and it's just like oh, and it's like fucking you've gone from playing fucking Ratchet and Clank to Elden Ring, like in an instant.
uh
But like music will always, I will always appreciate those elements because I may not always have the music on when I'm gaming, but I appreciate the same way you describe lighting and what it does for a scene is the same way the music does for the gaming experience or for the
so
entertainment experience, not
so
just
I
gaming.
I can accept music as being a pivotal part of like drawing people in, but I'm more so just as I am with lighting, I mean I'm probably more so with music in the sense of I like indirect lighting. I like passive lighting. I like it's really what sets things apart, right?
Hmm.
For me. Music, I want it to be the same. I want it to be there, fine, but in the background. I want it to be something that if I want to listen to it, I have to focus on it. I don't want it to be a
Understandable.
main, overwhelming audio source in my gameplay. It's too much. It's distracting.
I get that. And like when I'm fighting, like when I go into AC and I'm fighting and stuff, like music's off and I've got either my own music playlist in the background or I've got it null, just nothing. Especially if we're like in the verse, if we're in the verse and we're doing an op or we're rolling together, whatever we're doing, I probably have music very low or off because I'm trying to pay attention, I'm trying to listen, I'm trying to be aware. But in the sense of like uh like last night when I'm just like hanging out and I'm flying, I'm doing some ship shopping, some parts shopping, maybe a bunker here or there, and it's kind of just a solo dolo type of thing. That's when I'll like pull myself into the immersion of the game because then I just like I want to put on the music of the game and I want all the audio and I want everything just kind of like to be put together and encompassed so that way I'm just like, yeah, I am the best space pilot in the world, you know? Like that's how I feel when I hear the
Part of the
music.
experience.
Yeah, man, and like when it goes, like that's why I said entertainment. Like when you watch a TV show or a movie, like the one thing that you don't ever really pay attention to, but is a focus, is the score. Because if you take a
Mhm.
horror movie or a comedy movie and you flip their scores and you give them the score of the other movie, completely changes the way you perceive the entertainment. So that's how, like, to the quantum jump, jumping and seeing these dark nebula and what I know of pyro, hearing this music does throw me off. Now, of course, and Keezy makes up a good point in the chat. Music is not important in the game's current state. That's very valid because right now, like, immersion is cool and fun to engage with, but it's going to be broken over and over and over and over by
Mhm.
countless bugs and
Mageless,
things.
Mageless for the win. Mageless is in chat. You going? I listen to audiobooks while dogfighting. Man likes to fucking put his brain to the test.
He's like fucking he's like the guy who like is a serial killer but is putting on like, you know, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony while he's murdering a family. That's Mageless.
Fly the Bumblebee.
Yeah. He said yes, exactly. Like, he gets the vibes. Or the guy who's like a NASCAR racer and you expect him to be listening to like Leonard Skinner and you get
Listens
into
to
his
Katy
shit.
Perry.
He's got Sinatra.
Yes.
Cranking my hog when we're dropping orbital.
See, there you go. And everybody's got their kind of entertainment, and that's why when it comes to the music, I appreciate those changes. But like Keezy said, it's not the most important. So I could agree with that. The lighting things are probably more needed than the quantum music.
Yeah, I'm on board with that too. There's
But
a
imagine
lot of
how
other
many-
things that they should fix.
Imagine how
Oh,
many
yeah.
people like reported that though for them to fix it. Like that'd be such a non-issue. But there had to be some amount of people.
I don't
That-
think.
I-
I don't.
imagine.
Hold on.
I
I don't
don't-
think anyone
see,
reported
that's-
that. I think that was their
Yeah.
own sound engineer just doing work.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
Pedro
fair,
just being
fair.
like, "Hey, we're gonna throw this in."
Because
Okay.
they have
Mhm.
their own sound department doing their own thing, you know, and it may have been something that they
Yeah.
caught on their own during QA testing or whatever they do on the inside. And they're like, you know what, we need to fix this, or we need to add this. And maybe it wasn't there to begin with. I don't know.
Yeah,
True.
So
I
let's
see a
move on
lot
to the
of good
bugs.
ones in here.
bugs.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be quick and easy.
Oh yeah. It's
Uh,
only a few lines, guys. Just bear with us. Just a few lines.
Yeah,
Sorry, when I meant by lines, I meant posts. Just a few posts.
The first, you know what's funny though, is the first one, in my opinion, might be the most important one to read.
Yes, I would have to agree. Bug number
It might
one.
be.
If you cannot read, I'll read it out for you.
Or number
Pick-
two.
Let's see.
or number 3.
Okay. Yep.
Shit.
Okay,
Well,
guys.
here we
Okay.
go.
Okay. Come on. One at a time here.
There's a really good one that I'm gonna chime in on.
Have you read
when we
number
get to it.
97? That one's really good.
Look, you're really not getting into the meat of it till you get down to bug fix number 374.
Number 7's a pretty good one.
So anyways, an issue causing personal player hangers to overlap with other players' hangers, which by the way, there are other fixes. This is just a generalized fix, but there are other fixes related to hangers in this long list of things. And remember, this is from the 9th. This is what came in to 4.0.1 PTU. That's what they're currently testing. A lot of these fixes are in there. Just go in, give it a shot if you're into the PTU crowd. I don't know what wave it's open to. I think it's all backers.
It's all
Okay.
by now. Yeah.
So go give it a shot, see if any of this is true. But for instance, one of the other bugs that relates to bug number 1 here on this list is apparently you are able to knock people out across instances of hangers.
Yep, I had that happen once, and I broke into their hangar. So I know we overlapped hangars, and they were like flickering in and out as if like they were fading in and out in a video game. Say, amongst others, but I had the intrusive thought. I'm like, middle mouse click him, and I did, and I knocked him out. And then he got up. I went to the elevator, and he looked left and right like he was there. Great.
I wonder if that's linked to the elevators where you can pull your gun out in the middle of on their way to their hangar. You can pull your gun out and shoot them.
More along the lines of like an armistice issue.
Oh no, so
Like,
that's
they didn't set down.
the moment the elevator enters the encapsulated area of your hangar, because keep in mind when you call an elevator, it calls an elevator with a list of your hangars you can access. So everyone in your party is in this list. When you call that elevator and someone gets in with you, they can't see their hangar because they didn't call it. They can see, well, I don't know if they can see yours or not, but if you call it and go down into the hangar, they go with you. And they don't teleport out like they used to before. Like, so they, at
Break in.
first, anyone could ride with you to your elevator, or they could even go to your elevator. Now they can't go to your, then they couldn't go to your elevator because or not your elevator, I'm sorry, to your hangar, because the moment they got there, they just instantly teleport out. But now you've got this teleporting bug, so I'm guessing this is why they turn that part off. Now they can get to your hangar, and as soon as that elevator reaches the bounding box of your hangar, where you are legally able to pull out your guns and shoot people because it's a no armistice, it's a lawless area basically. Well, lawless
Because
for
that's
you
my
'cause you own it,
property, goddammit.
right? Yeah, castle law goes into effect. You're allowed to shoot the motherfucker. You can pull your gun out. Now keep in mind, he can shoot you too. But
They're not
if you're
expecting you to go blam, and
yeah,
I've blammed a couple people now
if you're
just
taking
for science.
if you're taking your elevator to your hangar, as you're getting to your hangar, just start pulling your gun out. And as soon as you get there, your gun's out, ready, and boom, done.
So
Quick as-
funny story. When we were doing our stuff the other night, where it was Stompy, Majorless, and I think Acid was in there, and we were over at the executive hangars with all those people, that other org. We'll just say that other org that was over there. Anytime I would die at, of course, they were spawning at the same place too. I killed 2 of their guys in an elevator going down to their ship.
Savage. You didn't tell us that, dude. Good shit.
Yeah. No, I just while waiting on my ship, take him. I'm like, I'm gonna hold him up.
Yeah.
That might be a bug they want to fix, but I mean, I'm gonna utilize it to the fullest advantage if it's still there.
Nah, pyro. It's pyro,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
Pyro.
anything goes,
It's
baby.
pyro.
Yeah.
Send it.
Pyro.
I
Um,
wish so bad. I wish so
Look,
bad.
all I gotta say is
that
welcome to
we
Pyro.
could go into theirs. Into
Yeah,
their.
welcome to
I
Pyro.
miss that they took that out. To be able to go into someone's hangar. I mean, that's how Dark Magic and I met Stompy, and then got into was hangar hopping.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the fact that you just like outright can't go to this hangar. That's not the coolest thing in the world, but because there was such a fun element of sneaking onto people's ships. And like it took some skill, some luck, and you could benefit greatly from it, or you could die. There was risk and reward, and to just take
And it
it
was
away is like the only thing that I can understand is like maybe they didn't take away out of the reasoning of taking it away, but the new tech of how hangars work changes due to player to player instancing. Like if a client has to be instanced a certain way, it may not be that easy right now for them to just be like, well, this client, because he's next to this client, we're going to just let him go to this instance. I don't know how coding works, but I could see the mechanics of how hangars work now could just outright be a problem for another player to just walk in, which is why sometimes they can and sometimes they can't. Because is there a specific where they were like, you're not allowed to go in people's hangars anymore? Or was it, you can't go in because this change happened? Like, how was that portrayed?
I don't know.
I feel like it's enough Bobs that have complained about people going into their hangars that's why they changed some of it. 'Cause I don't see.
That's very true. That's probably a fact.
They're like, where people are in my
Already.
hangar? They won't leave
All right,
me
so-
alone. They should keep sneaking on my ships.
So I asked everyone here to pick a bug that they wanted to talk about out of this list, and we're just gonna go one at a time. Stompy, pick the bug that you wanted to talk about the most, and we'll give that a quick run through, and we'll go down the list. Overseer and then Acid.
This may not have bug stated because I haven't gone all 387.5 section 5, 6 through 7. But the ability to not quantum in your ship when you pulled it out with no bugs, right? You got into your ship with no bugs. You got out of the hangar with the hangars not bugging out. But as soon as you try to go quantum, it says ship unrecognizable or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it grays out.
Ship in enclosed area. Have you gotten that one?
I've gotten
No,
that
I've
one
not
before.
even about it though. Yeah.
But what bug fix on this list answers that? Or does it not? Pick one off the list.
Ooh, I got one. In the PU, actor personal inventory storage access, loot boxes, and armor, backpacks, baby. Items cannot be interacted with after being transferred from local storage to an actor's hand. Let's go. We get
Nope.
That is actually
that is not fixed.
no.
well. That's and here's
Twisted
the
today.
thing. This is because this is the 9th, so this is almost 2 weeks ago, these patch notes we're reading from. This is the first implementation of 4.0.1 into the PTU. So that is like the first time they're trying to fix that bug. I guarantee that bug fix has probably been listed in every concurrent PTU patch because and I heard that from someone else too, Overseer's right. It's still not working.
So how far down is
like
that?
I didn't see it I think it's on the first set of bug fixes, and it's like, I mean, it's
1.5 scrolls.
decently middle.
Yeah, it's like 1.5 scrolls.
Like as of today, I literally went to my hangar, even tried putting it into an SCU storage crate, a store all. Put a bag in there. Well, let me rephrase that.
Well, keep in mind
It
these are
could
not on the.
potentially work because I can't put my bag into a one SCU crate for some reason. And I know that bag's not that full,
hmm
but it
So
will not let me put it into an SCU crate.
now,
to
are
s-
you
to
are
then be
you
able to
playing
look
on
at it.
the PTU right now? Like, is that, or
Oh,
do you
is
go?
this just for PTU?
This is
Yeah,
just for
this is all
PTU.
PTU. This is all
Oh,
PTU updates.
okay, gotcha. I'm looking at it as saying PU, and I'm like, okay, well,
Well, no. So basically, they've changed
I thought this was for
this is
4.
a persistent
Yeah, this is
universe
4.
fix as
Oh,
opposed to like
4.0.1.
an arena commander fix.
Yeah, because they have to
Gotcha.
specify what they're fixing within this patch. So PU pretends
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
is persistent universe.
I've got
It's
one for
not.
you
It's
guys.
not. It's not 4.0. It's 4.0.1.
No, yeah.
I've got one
Yep.
for you guys. It's a little better, and I can
All right, shoot.
find it.
Where are we at?
Okay. So, for those of you that are into FP, if you guys don't know that there's a customized weapon option, you can do that, and your gun will go up to your the front of your camera. Basically, it'll tilt it off to the side. It'll show the underbarrel, the barrel itself, and the scope as an option, right?
hmm
And this is a personal fix that I've figured out myself, but the bug fix is weapon customization, customizing when crouch causes UI to go off screen. I never thought that was a bug. I thought that was just my camera getting up in the camera, like my face getting up in front of the gun too far out.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely a bug, and that's been a bug for a long time though. Ever since they introduced that system.
I like pushed myself to just like muscle memory, just whenever I'm standing. So if I need cover, go behind a pillar or something, so I could stand and do it real quick. Because I'm pretty like I've got muscle memory of it pretty much down. But this is gonna help so much more in the line of fire when you have to like have like your buddies cover you, and you go to customize that weapon after you're trying to loot a body, or if you tractor the body to you and you still have cover. That's going to be such huge quality of life. And this is really small, but in tense situations like in contested zones especially, and you need
Mhm.
cover, but if you stand up you're dead. It's beautiful.
I just, oh my god. Kelbeck, scroll down to the very end of the bug fixes. Right before the technical parts. Read that little comment. What does it say?
Good luck, Captain Foxy.
Respect to him for getting a shout. Like, that dude does test, and I have to like respect that. But that's how you know you're doing well, because like all these bug fixes, and they're just like they know exactly the guy that's going to test almost all of them.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Captain
That is-
Foxy Loxy, in case you aren't familiar with this creator, you should be. He's a really good creator when it comes to testing the boundaries of what is possible in the persistent universe. I mean, I don't agree with everything that the man says, but he's still very good at what he does.
Yes, I was gonna say, nor
for
do
chat
I, but
testing.
it is funny to see a shout out like that. Especially because we've been talking about how many fucking bug fixes there are in this list.
Well, it kind of shows you too that CIG is actually to the community, and you don't see like Avenger 1, you don't see Salty Mike or anybody like that. Like Foxy Loxy is known for that specifically, and they're not going to just shout out some random creator. This is
Well-
what Foxy Loxy does. So it's kind of cool to kind of see that they're acknowledging that and like tipping their hat to him.
Well, and even and in that respect, they do on other things. I remember when Master Modes came out, I think it was Space Tomato had Avenger 1 and Yogi do a straight up like hour and a half podcast debate
That's
about
cool.
master modes. It was really interesting to listen to because, A1 is totally anti master modes and Yogi is pro. And then he had another, I don't remember if it was Mike or Tomato again, then had A1 and Virgil on talking, because Virgil's pro master modes and A1's anti master modes. And listening to the two opinions, and then especially a dev who is making it and his ideas and stuff, in the grand scheme, the fact that CIG will recognize their content creators and
Mhm.
recognize the people that are doing it, it's good. I wish that we would see
Okay,
more than just
so
that.
here's the thing, and I'm gonna throw this out there because we've been mixed in with the community and other communities that there's some back and forth. I'm gonna throw this on the table.
Hmm.
I am fine with content creators getting recognition. I am not fine with content creators getting privileged uh,
Yeah.
um, favoritism,
Yeah. No, 100%. That's not
Yeah.
right?
that's not
I
something I would
I
Oh,
vote
understand
down
your
that.
for.
experience. You don't like this about the game? Let's change it. What about the rest
Well,
of the
no, 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 no.
community?
That I don't care so much about that. What I mean is like the protection that the creators get. Like, for
Hmm.
instance, we are an org of industrialists, right? But at the core of it, I mean that's the core of our org. Our org has to operate in the black, right? We have to operate in areas of space where it's fucking dangerous, out in Pyro.
Hmm.
In order to do the things that we need to do, we need to be able to fight too. So we're not just industrialists; we're also combat fighters. We are capital ship operators, gunnery crew. We have the ability to be extremely deadly. That being said, if we come across a creator, and even if none of us have never heard of him, even if he's live or not, we don't know that. We kill him, and the next thing you know, we get bans. It hasn't happened yet, but I've seen it happen to other people exactly in that exact same scenario, and I'm not talking about Griefernet.
My
Uh,
only caveat would be for us, none of us are streaming. So there is nothing that could happen to, or none of us are streaming, and if they are streaming, none of us, to my knowledge, are watching a person stream. Stream sniping is against the rules in millions of games other than Star Citizen and on any streaming platform.
right.
So
But you have
if
to
you were to
first
stream it
off.
on YouTube and then somebody comes in and stream snipes you and kills you over and over, you can get banned from YouTube, you can get banned from the game. It is more than just Star Citizen. So in that aspect, I wouldn't consider that special privilege if they're streaming, because if they're
So
streaming, there are rules that go with that.
so hold on. You have to understand that the context of what I was putting out there was quite simply we didn't even, let's say we don't even know who they are. Therefore, we couldn't
Yeah.
possibly know that they have a channel live, and we go and kill them. And
Mhm.
it could even be a Spanish streamer or a French streamer or a German streamer. Doesn't matter, right? We go and kill
Mhm.
them. Next thing you know, we're getting banned, and we don't know why. And we're getting not just 7-day bans or 3-day bans or whatever the least amount is for first offenses. Which, by the way, they do have a tiered system for a number of offenses. We're getting straight 30 and 90-day bans, right?
See, I have my biggest thing though is I have not met one person who that's happened to. I've not met one
I
person
have.
who's attacked a streamer over and over and got banned for it.
No, I'm not talking over and over. Nuh-uh. I'm only talking once.
Don't they have a tier
See,
system
and
for
there's
that though? Set in
to
place?
me, that's the type of out of context, like that's too vague. That's too vague to say like, oh yeah, dude got special privilege because he like that's like
But
what was the whole context of said situation?
you have to
Because
understand that it's not happening as much now, and there's
Mhm,
reason for that, and I won't go into that here.
for
We
sure.
can talk about that after the stream. But what I will say is it has happened, and it has happened a lot in the past. I think some CIG members have been um, talked to, and some have been let go for whatever the reasons may be. But it is
Yeah, I've
happening
heard about
less
that
now.
before.
But it was happening, and there is still the possibility of happening even now. That being said, so I'm in favor of content creators. I'm in favor of CIG giving them some form of favoritism in the sense of out of game, right? Privileged information, privileged, access to certain channels or discords or any of that kind of stuff, which would give them the edge on news and content. But when a content creator has the ability to put in a single report for a single death and get someone banned, I think that amount of protection is not ideal. And I think it missells, like misrepresents the context of the game. This game is not about being safe and secure. This game is about, well, everything, right? And so if a streamer is streaming, the fact that he got killed by another player is a possibility that can happen in the game in the course of a open world situation.
Yes, and that is something also a streamer has to take into account by putting a stream up, is that like you are subjecting yourself to having your shit fucked with, even though at the end of it those people can like get in trouble for doing it if they're doing it purposefully that way. Like you're
So,
also putting yourself out there by just showcasing yourself in a live format of like, here I am, here's what I'm doing.
right. So this right here, now Captain Foxy Loxy is, I don't know if he streams or not. I haven't followed the man very closely, but I know he puts out a lot of really good videos and I've seen some of them. This shutout right here, I'm 100% on board for. I think that's awesome. I love the fact that CHE does recognize their creators. I love this. What I don't love is the protection that someone like this would get. Now, I believe Foxy Loxy has talked about multiple scenarios where he has been attacked and destroyed, and that's mostly because of name recognition. But he's never taken action against that. He rolls with the punches, and I can appreciate that.
Here's another thing too, though, and like on the counter side, like I'm in AC a lot, and I see Avenger 1 in there. I see Virgil in there. I see some of the named content creators that are combat people. Every time I'm in AC, when I see Avenger 1, I'm not going to try to fight him the whole time either. That's a big problem too that people have, is the idea of like, oh, it's the guy. Like it's the guy. Like, and part of me, I feel that way because before we joined the org, Stompy had to deal with that. And Stompy had to deal with stream sniping and people like just seeing Twitch in his name and just attacking because of that. And like to just relentlessly attack because of a guy makes no sense to me, especially when they're a name, you know, like an Avenger 1 or a Virgil. And it's like there are people, like if you watch their stream when they're in AC, they're dealing with like there will be some guy in there and it's like the whole entire match that guy's on their ass. And it's like that part is you know, that's part of what you get for becoming a big name. Like people are going to do that even in the real world. Celebrity, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio can't go into a fucking Starbucks. Like that's just how it is. But I don't understand that mentality of like, oh, it's him, gotta go after him, gotta go after him, gotta go after him. You know, in the sense of stealing somebody. And I have one instance, there's one person in this game that I will go after every time I see them, and we all know who it is. And also, he has threatened to ban me. He has threatened to like talk to his concierge person about me, all of these things, and nothing has happened. So that's where it becomes hard for me to believe that people would get like special privilege, because like even like we have friends that are like, you know, might be in the Discord or we game with that have spent copious amounts of money in the game. They have like a concierge contact and they still have a problem that's, you know, like totally could get special privilege because you spent 15 grand on the game. But like it's hard for me to see much special privilege outside of those unique scenarios, which I have heard reports that like in months previous there were employees that were let go or like you said talked to because they've given special treatment, which I feel like you're going to get that in a lot of companies and game companies nowadays with like a snowflake culture of sorts, you know, where people want this. And I mean, fucking Starfield came out
Careful.
and the guy railed
You said
his community.
snowflake, we're going to get canceled now.
Oh shit.
Oh
Like,
man.
Starfield comes out and then people like complain about it, and then it, like didn't the dev of Starfield, like wasn't there a dev who went on Twitter and just started trash talking the people who were trash talking Starfield, just like, you don't know shit, this is a good game, blah 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 blah. Like
I don't
that
know.
employee is an idiot. Like you can't talk to
Oh,
your
yeah.
community that way, and you can't treat them that way. You have to treat them with respect, and you can't favorite them. So back to the whole thing. I hope that we don't see more favoritism. You know, if that has taken place before, I definitely would agree with you that that is a bad thing.
Yeah, no,
Because
I'm
that's
like I
just-
said,
I think
I'm
the
all
name
in
of
favor of
this-
these shoutouts.
Yeah.
I think the stream or this stream has turned into a different title of star
Well,
favoritism.
No, I
Star
was gonna
favoritism.
bring us back on track as soon as he was done with his rant, but no, you're right. We got off track a little bit. So
I mean, it's a good
Stumpy's put
topic,
his It is. Stompy's put his forward. Overseer, you said you had one ready to fire? Where's this one located? Which one is it?
Number 7 is the first one, and it kind of goes into play with another. Let me see here. Kind of, well, sort of. So we'll cover the PvP and then the PvE side. So number 7, players can desync and appear as invisible to other players. It shows that bug. That's a huge one if they fix that, because you find that players are desyncing, coming across as invisible, and you're like, where am I getting shot from? Or you do see them and you wail into them and they're just invincible, and then they just kill you.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a problem too. Invisibility.
Well,
is
there's another bug that
Invisibility-
relates to this. So if you had a bug like this going on in the contested zone, there's another bug that was happening in the contested zone. I don't know if it's in this list. I haven't read all of them yet. But if you medpen yourself at the moment of death, you become
You'll revive.
immortal. Yeah,
Oh,
you will
yes.
revive
way to
and
get
become
that too.
immortal.
Yeah.
Now,
Because if you
admittedly,
interact
you can't kill anything, but they can't kill you either. It's almost like
You
they're
can knock
getting an
them out, though,
armistice
can't
bug.
you?
Yeah, you can knock them out repeatedly, but they get back up after 10 seconds. And, if you are desynced from them, which is the issue that you're having here with number 7, they can get behind you, even though you visually see them in front of you, and they knock you out.
Yeah, and see, that's game breaking, because you have the issue of, okay, they can slow you down enough for their potential group to just run over and shoot you and kill you.
Yep, basically. It's
Yeah.
it serves as a scout. Now here's the one thing that bug the third bug, which I don't know if those two bugs are exactly related, but there's a third bug that is like an armistice bug, and that armistice bug, it will let you pull your gun out. It will let you do all the actions you normally would be able to do, but you cannot die to a player, and a player cannot kill you. However, an NPC can kill you. So they would send this person who's armistice bugged in to kill all the NPCs, but then when they come across a player, he can't be killed by the player. And the player that is bugged would give the information to the rest of his crew, and they come around the corner and they would kill him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it definitely some FPS bugs going on that relate to your number 7 bug.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as the PvE goes, let me find it here. I just seen it. Basically, they're saying that they fixed a bug where you go into a place and all the NPCs spawn on you all at once.
Yeah, I know what.
Which
that
is very
bug
nice. That's a very good fix. That's the most annoying thing ever having
I
to
was gonna
deal
say, I
with.
think you might want to reword that. The fix is good, not the action of them spawning on you.
Yeah. No, the fix is good. So that's the PvP versus PvE that immediately drew my attention out of the fixes here, bug fixes. Which
Those are good.
Okay. Acid, what do you got?
I see 4, but they're like this. It's like if you have 4, but then like 2 go together and then 2 go together.
All right, so where are you at? How many down?
The first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay, Stanton salvaging or bounty
No,
hunter?
below that, the next one, Bounty Hunter. So, Bounty Hunter UI mission content. Primary objectives marker for Bounty Hunter missions does not appear on both the heads-up display and star map. And that'll be like Stompy and I do Vaughn missions. We do regular Crusader missions. That is a huge problem. And if that's fixed, that is like, for our gameplay loop outside of PvP, I mean, that's a big deal. I can't do a fucking mission if I can't see where I'm going, especially when the mission in my Mobi-Glass doesn't tell me a location. It's easy if I can read the location, then like, yeah, I'll go. But some of these might be in like an asteroid belt, or they might be in a no-name spot on Daymar. And if that's fixed, it's good. And the thing that goes along with that is like way down the list, close to the bottom, It's it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the bottom up.
Mission
So it's called
refactor?
Mission Refactor Support Attacked Ship Missions, AI UI. Mission does not complete despite all AI ships being eliminated.
Ooh.
A fix
That's
for
a
that.
huge thing.
Yes, because for one,
More rep
those
costs.
pay out really well. Even at the entry level, like the yellow level entry level pays out like 40 grand a mission, and you can get it done in maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your skill level. So when you go up from there, it's really good, but they've been
Yeah,
failing out like constantly because
I'll
you just kill them all and nothing.
I'll admit I have had problems trying to build reputation. Like I've been wanting to build um reputation with citizens
Hmm.
because I want to get their reward for their liveries.
Hmm.
For no other reason. I don't care about the lore, but I want the liveries. Um, so I've been trying to build reputation with them, but I can't. I'm like, let me explain how messed up this whole mission system is. Okay, I can't complete any missions for citizens because
Mm,
either we have NPCs under the mesh or all NPCs immediately spawn on you and destroy the ever living crap out of you the moment you quantum in. Um, just all number of different issues related to that. And so you can't complete any of the missions, and it's been so bad that I haven't completed any. Like I'm not even hostile
yeah.
to headhunters. Like I've taken citizens missions like regularly, and I'm still not hostile to headhunters because I can't complete them.
I'm not gonna lie. On that note, it might be a hot take, it might not. I wouldn't even be mad about a reputation reset on 4.0.1. Just a
I,
reputation.
I mean, if there was
Because
a
we
reputation
all are
reset,
trying
guess
to
what?
figure out how it works, and the
I've
missions haven't worked. Like
I've had so little progress in reputation that if they reset, I wouldn't notice a freaking difference.
that too. Like we don't even fully understand how reputation works, and I don't think it's fully working properly anyway. So, and the missions don't always work. And in Stanton's side, same thing. Like reputation is based on your crime stat, and if you're recently a criminal, even if you're clean now, you can't get legal missions, which is understandable. But like, what's the time frame? Like, there's a mission I can do in Pyro
Yeah.
that gets me clear, but like I think it's for CFP, so then that brings in your problem, and now I'm a DNA strand just weaving a web that I'll never.
I'm trying to
The
find the
other
one I was
change,
looking at before.
well,
Go ahead.
there's another change that's the other two, and this is something that I think actually Stompy, he probably didn't see, but he's going to be very happy about because he flies this ship. So it's on the second set, and it's number 8 and 9 bullet points. So they're Crusader Hercules. Fixed Crusader Hercules vehicle ramp. When the ramp is open, the Starlifter shift off balance. So that's a fix. And then the other fix, all variants Hercules, vehicle landing gear ramp, Hercules spawn/land off balance on hangar floor. So they've like now rebalanced and let it,
Literally.
hopefully the Hercules sets still again.
They've rebalanced, literally.
Literally,
Um,
literally rebalanced.
so here's the problem with the Hercules, and this is a problem that we've pointed out before, both on stream and off. But the Hercules, if you were to remove the back two landing gear, you know what would happen? Nothing. Nothing would happen. You
Yeah.
know why? Because 100% of the weight of that ship sits on the nose landing gear. It is
Yeah.
central to the ship.
Yeah.
You could remove the back two landing gear, and as long as you can land straight up and down, and the surface you're on is flat, it's not going to tip. It's going to land on that one gear and be perfectly fine. Because that's where the center point is for the ship.
But how did that fuck up in the first place? I mean, I've been around Hercules a while. I flew one for a bit. I've been in Stompy's been flying them for a bit, and they used to set fine in a hangar. You land it, it sets fine. You open your ramps, it sets fine. And all of a sudden, I'm like, it was like
No,
324.
I'm not even talking. I'm not even talking that, right? So even when the ship is operating normally, if you put your landing gear down, if you have any amount of forward motion when you land, your nose is going to dip and almost touch the ground, if not touch the ground, right?
Yeah.
And that's because you don't have here's your sphere of weight, right? The nose landing gear sits right here in the middle of it. Okay? So when you land, the back two landing gear, you know what they're doing? Nothing. They're stability. That's it. They're not taking on any weight. The nose landing gear is actually taking on all the weight of that ship. So if you take that nose landing gear, excuse me, sorry, dinner's trying to present me some problems here. If you take that nose landing gear and you move it forward to the nose of the ship, you will have a more balanced reason for that landing gear to exist. Because right now, if you remove the back two landing gear, it's a fucking pogo stick.
Constellation pilots be like, first time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
seriously.
Right. I was about to say the Constellation.
No,
You land that thing.
no.
Oh, it's smack. and
Here,
then
here's the
lifts
thing
up.
about the Constellation. All variants of the Constellation but one have that problem. You know which one doesn't have that problem? The
The Phoenix?
Taurus.
The Phoenix.
The
No, the
Taurus,
Taurus.
Yep.
You know
oh
why?
yeah, it's a longer
Because
body.
the nacelles, the bottom engine nacelles slide more forward because they have more fuselage to slide on,
Wow.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
That's using your big brain right there.
right? The Taurus is the only one that can actually get its landing gear to close to central mass.
So the ship that doesn't have the extra weight of a snub fighter on its back actually has a better center of gravity.
Because it's longer. It is physically longer.
I mean, that makes sense, but
You're
like,
gonna have
then
to go
why
check,
doesn't
aren't
the
you?
extra gravity on the others like balance that out? I don't, or the extra weight.
You have to
I mean.
understand that snub fighter. Have you ever? Never mind. I'm not going to ask this question. If you've built a kit plane before, if you've known someone who's built a kit plane, those things are fucking light, like really light. You can literally lift
That's
up
fair.
the entire kit plane. That fighter, I mean, the
That's
only heavy
true.
thing on that thing is the amount of ammo and the nose gun. The
Yeah.
rest is pretty light. Engines, okay. The two little
It's got the
engines
big
are-
engine in the back, and then like you've got weaponry.
Yeah, so I mean that's the whole weight, the engines and the gun and the ammunition. Otherwise, it's just next to nothing.
But still, like, I just think like that was the first ship I ever got in, and that exact same problem. Just like landed.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like-
if they go to all other variants of the of that ship and you
Mhm.
slide those nacelles further forward, it'll land
Mhm.
perfectly fine, no problems.
yeah,
Um,
that
for
makes
the
sense then.
Hercules, there's a lot of different ways that they can fix that. They can have landing gear come out from the left and right side of the ramp and just fold down and become support gear. Doesn't even have to be weight bearing. It can be support gear, right? You can still keep the nose landing gear. Or you can have landing gear slide forward and out and then and drop down to be, again, support landing gear. Or those ones could actually take on the full weight because they would be supported by hydraulic supports that
Mhm.
extend from the side of the ramp. There's a few different ways they could do that, but they're not gonna because that requires them to remodel the ship, and they're not gonna do that. So instead, they're gonna
Hey, well,
leave it. They're
it's
gonna
the
leave the
conning
topsy
tube.
turvy. Yeah, they're
It's
gonna
the
leave the
oldest.
topsy turvy and let it just tilt all the time. They don't care.
Fuck 'em.
Honestly, anyone who's flown those ships knows that the front and rear ramps are its real landing gear.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, and that's what you try to balance it out with in the current bug state. Is you're like, you can find a better balance once you open both your ramps, because if you don't, or if you only open one, then the ship does this weird angle thing. If you only open the back ramp, then all of a sudden the ship just like wants to sit like this, or else
Yeah.
it'll lift off and go like this, and so you can't get back in.
You have to open both. Yep. Okay. So there was one that I was looking at, and it's a non-issue really. But I'm gonna bring it up because it's a non-issue, and I'm gonna bring up another thing that has been like this for the two whole major patches.
Mhm.
And it was where'd it go? It was to do with the Ursa medevac.
Are you talking about the fucking door color?
Yes, that one.
I read that one. I don't know where it is, but I read. I was
So,
like, what?
So the Ursa medevac had a texture issue. If you put a livery on the Ursa medevac, the back door wouldn't take that texture. Now, this has been an issue already for the Pisces. The Pisces has had an issue where it won't show the delivery that comes with it. The landing gear show it, like the landing gear are blue, because I bought the starter pack for the uh, not Fleet Week. No, was it Fleet Week? Yeah, it was a Fleet Week starter pack, and I bought it like, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. But the last two patches, major patches, have had the skin removed. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind because I actually like the default look of the Pisces. I only got it, and it comes with the blue livery because of the pack, and I just never change it. But the landing gear are blue, just like the livery is supposed to be. The rest of the ship hull, it's not blue. It's default,
Huh.
and it's been like that this entire time. But yet they will fix the door of the Nursa. I just
Yes,
find that
needed to be
absolutely,
fixed.
yeah, absolutely, 100%. Got to fix the Nursa.
There's another one here too, which is like a small fix, but I feel like maybe I'm the only one who ran into it consistently. So at Checkmate, it's fixed PU Pyro Checkmate locations, collision/stuck. There is invisible collision/wall on pad 2 at Checkmate and causes the
Yes.
player to become
Oh,
stuck when
man.
moving over
I
it.
was
It
gonna
was
pick
Yep.
that
so
one.
inconvenient.
I was gonna pick that one honestly, but I saw the Nursa one. I was like, no, I'm going with this one.
That one's actually a good change because I can't tell you how many times I came to Checkmate and would either be dropped off by someone or I got out of my ship and tried to use the pad to get in, and then I get walking on the pad and I just hit an invisible wall, or I come to land my ship on the pad and
Did
just
it?
blow up
Yeah.
because wall.
Yep.
So that I'm very happy about. Also, Mantis MFD's overlapping fixed, which cool too. Didn't
Right.
see that.
So here's another one I'm gonna just throw on the table. Again, I mentioned that we were an industrial org. Now I know a lot of our industrial players don't actually fly the mole right now, and there's a reason for that. The mole, the pilot doesn't have access to the mining UI. Only the turrets do, and even then, sometimes the ship's broken and it just doesn't work. I don't know if there's other mole fixes in here, but they have restored the visibility to the mining mode UI to the pilot seat. So finally, the moles can go out and start doing the work that they need to do.
Here's a bad change, and I wish they didn't fix this bug. I wish they kept this bug in. Mannequins in refinery shop are naked, and some items are clipped on shelves. I want my mannequins naked. Don't put clothes on 'em.
It's pyro.
Yeah, it's fucking pyro. It's
Mhm.
fine. There's no rules. It doesn't matter.
I do agree with the clipping through the tables though. I think the backpack should be sitting on the table, not halfway through the table. So
All right, I'll meet you in the middle. Naked
all right.
people, no backpack clipping.
Perfect. I'll accept that.
You take that deal, I take that deal.
Overseer, you got another one?
I'm still looking through them right now.
We haven't even touched the ones from today yet. Do we want to go take a look at today?
Yeah, we'll pull that one up.
Okay, so I've got it
We can
pulled up.
maybe-
Testing
Yeah,
feedback
that-
focus is stability, performance, and bug fix testing. Save Stanton. Wow, that I almost said Stave Stanton. Anyways, Save Stanton, Chapter 2, event in Pyro. So the Save Stanton Chapter 2 quests. Wow, missions are running in the EPTU 4.0.1. It apparently there are some bug fixes with those missions, so good to see that those are going in. I'm not going to cover those. I will drop these links in chat here in a moment. You know, I'll just drop them now.
This bottom thing is
I'll at least
worth
drop
reading
this
out
one.
loud to like be known. Save Stanton Chapter 2 missions are designed to be reputation locked to the faction you are working towards. And due to this, the missions for the event will not be shareable to avoid cross reputation issues. So we will not be able to share those. And when we are not able to share those, it is not a bug. That is on purpose. And I'm sure there's going to
Correct.
be a lot of people playing this game who are going to be like, I can't share my Save Stanton 2 mission. Well, there's a reason.
Well, So basically, if you're going to be going and grinding these missions with a group of people, you need to align yourself with a group of people that are doing those exact same reputation branches. Now, I don't
Yeah.
know about people in my org because we haven't really talked about it yet, but I personally am going to be going for the reputation of Citizens for Prosperity. Again, I'm after that the reputation to get the liveries. The liveries for these guys are black and red, whereas if you go with headhunters, they're black and purple. So if you like the purple, go with headhunters. If you like the red, go with Citizens for Prosperity. If you're only in it for the reward. If you are in it uh, for the lore reasons, and you're more of a cynical kind of person, then obviously you're going to go headhunters. If you're more the psychotic, I want to kill everything kind of, headhunters are for you. Uh, and don't get me wrong, there'd be a few times I wouldn't mind taking headhunter missions myself. Um, but again, their livery is not my flavor. I'd rather have black and red over black and purple. Now the purple, believe it or not, I do like the color purple, and the color purple they used in this livery is actually dark enough that I would accept having it. It's not like a pastel or a metallic or anything like that. It's actually a deep purple, and I like that.
That's
Um,
good. Because their light
but
purples suck.
yeah, no kidding. Um, so it's a deep purple. It's black and purple, and it's only for a select number of ships. And I can't remember what that list of ships is. It's floating around the verse right now on the interwebs. It's also floating around our Discord somewhere.
It's like a cutlass, a cutter. Those
Zeus,
are two of them. A
the
Zeus,
Zeus is one of them. Yep.
the Carrick, a Pisces. I want to say it's like that, right?
So
Something like
yeah,
that.
something like
Those are a
that.
few.
But anyways, so that's the details on this. So I would, before you guys get into the chapter 2 missions, figure out which reward you want to work towards and work towards that. Again, if you're more of the lore type of person, obviously you're going to get the reward that associates with the lore that you like best. Just make sure that you do it with a group of people that are, I mean, unless you feel like doing it yourself, by all means, it just works faster with a group.
Do we know that the missions, if we're in CFP or Headhunters, are going to be affecting missions in Pyro, Zero, Santon?
Don't know.
Vice versa?
I mean, I imagine they would. That's reputation based.
So you wouldn't be able to do any Stanton missions basically if you were
Oh, I don't
Headhunters,
know.
per
I don't
se.
think it. I don't think so. Those reputations don't exist in Stanton. They shouldn't, at least. So
Okay,
if
so
you're
it's just
doing
bugged
if
then.
you're doing citizens and headhunters, they should be isolated to Pyro.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering about. Okay, yeah, there's
See,
been
but if you can do a Citizens for Prosperity and mission in Pyro to affect your reputation in Stanton, then wouldn't that possibly insinuate that cross system reputations have an effect?
because I had it
Only
personally speaking where I would do Hurston missions, and then I turned hostile because I was doing Headhunters, and got a crime stat and everything. Wiped the crime stat, the Pyro came
so
back without doing anything, and it said it was hostile Stanton for
right, but
CFP.
you have to understand that a lot of the reputation stuff right now is currently not working as intended.
Okay, so
Um,
that's okay.
and the way that I see, like, I don't disagree with you, Acid. In fact, I think that that should be a thing moving forward. But right now, um, there's no Citizens for Prosperity in Stanton. If they added Citizens for Prosperity somewhere in Stanton, then there'd be a reason to do certain things in Pyro versus, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
You gotta have the entity exist in that system for the reputation to matter, or you have to create the interlinking relationships between two different entities. For instance, if you go with headhunters, which then makes you hostile to Citizens for Prosperity, who have a reputation with Hurston, not that they would, but I'm just giving an example,
Yeah.
then you would also get degrading amounts of reputation hit against Hurston when you took a major hit. Here's an example. I do a mission for headhunters. I get 10 rep for headhunters, and it impacts my Citizens for Prosperity -20. Okay, because it impacted Citizens for Prosperity, who are also aligned with Hurston Dynamics, Again, hypothetical, not actual. I take a -5 or -10 reputation hit with Hurston as well because I took a negative reputation hit with Citizens for Prosperity. So until they make those relationships, I don't see reputation in Pyro affecting Stanton.
That makes sense. And that's I am still so curious about how the reputation will work and how it is working. It's so confusing, which is kind of cool, but also like it's cool because I know that there are some aspects of it that are implemented and that are like you're gonna have to decide. But right now it's not cool because I don't understand how it works and it's not working.
Yeah.
Look, you don't understand how it works. No one does, including them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So as far as bugs go in this though, I immediately see like probably the biggest one, at least to me, and because this is the smallest of bug fixes. And the most important one to me, because criminal life, and sometimes you find yourself in the fucking clink, you know? Players can't leave Clusher because the elevator's open to a void instead of sending them to their hab on the surface. So hopefully that's like fully fixed. I know it's been hit or miss in 4.0 right now. I've been in jail and I couldn't get out and had to keep swapping servers. And then I've been in jail and I got out first try. So it's not consistently broken as it was at the beginning, I think, but still, like that's a big deal because that can just like I don't mind going to jail. You know what it is, what it is. That's part of the risks I take getting a crime stat and being around in Stanton. But when I do all the stuff and then I'm just stuck in jail, even though I could be out, that's where that game breaking part comes in, and you're like, okay, mother, like, yeah, I'm punished for being a criminal, but don't punish me like this, like they
All
say
right.
in a
So,
life
yeah.
sentence.
I think they also, though, I think they need to fix, if I'm not sure if it'll be included in that because it's not mentioned, but they really need to fix the fan.
Oh yeah,
Because
yes.
true.
that's a huge thing. It's like, okay, like it does feel like each patch punishes bad deeds more and more, and it leans as if they don't want you to do that at all in the game, period. Even though they'll broadcast that, hey, this is a path that you can take. But we don't want you to actually do it, so we're going to make sure it stays broken.
Yeah, sometimes. Well,
Like
here's
the
the
mission popping, the
Yeah.
I never
fan
get the
not
mission to pop
working.
any time for Vaughn ever. I haven't gotten it
Yeah.
since like 323.
Yeah, I mean, and look how long it took him to even fix the Ursas.
Well, see, and here's the thing too. Like, if you think about it in the context of like, who are the people that are doing those parts of the jail loop, right? Like breaking out of jail, or well, yes, you. But like, think about this. Think about what I'm about to say. The people that are doing that are one of two people. They're either career criminals, or else they are in there for a long time. Most of the like Bobs, quote unquote, that will get crime stats and be in jail probably got it from accidentally killing a security guard or accidentally did something. So they've got like an hour or two. They're not going to go through the process of escaping jail, doing a jail mission, going down to the below comms and mining for a long time. They're going to do the least, try to get out, maybe take a break because they're not interested in being in jail and playing a video game in jail. But then there's those of us who will do that. And what better way to punish those of us who are consistently going like hardcore PvP and griefing in their eyes than just breaking the systems that let us get out easier? Like there is some aspect of truth to what you're saying. They could be doing it because you have an instance like right now, like I can take a Firebird out and kill anyone I want in Stanton as much as I want and keep going, get more missiles and just keep killing for fun and rack up a crime stat. Then I'm in jail for 24 hours. And what better way to punish me than break the system that lets me get out early?
I have thought about that too. Yeah.
Like it's as dumb as it is, probably true.
But you do have to look at that point. They also have systems in place to deal with people excessive griefing, different than Quesher itself.
No, they
Yeah. I mean, that's why I say, yeah, like, what are those
So-
systems? I mean,
No,
and what,
those
like, excessive
those
griefing
systems
is
are not
so-
systems. It's a person behind a computer terminal at CIG going ban.
See, and that's where,
Yep.
like, when it, like that old conversation we were talking about earlier, unless it's a video of Stompy over the course of 30 minutes pad ramming a guy at Shubin mining facility, the specifically the like I guess technically by their TOS, it doesn't matter what pad. If it's a pad, then it's a pad. But like if he's doing it 30 minutes over and over and over, and he keeps coming back and ramming this guy on a pad and ramming this guy on a pad and ramming this guy on a pad, that I can understand if some guy behind a desk at CAG is like, okay, this guy is literally just like grieving
Over a shit ban.
or med bay camping, med bed camping. That's another one. But like if I'm in space and I'm fighting a guy for a long time and I say fuck it and I ram him because I want to, and then
Mechanics
later I
that way.
see him again and I maybe ram him again in another gaming session, like that ain't it. That ain't it, dog. Like that ain't griefing. It needs to be some legit shit you're doing, which is there's only a couple things in this game to me that qualify for that.
You're
Right.
talking about
So-
that to such a degree of detail that I feel like that was a personal experience, Puff.
What?
What?
Touching on
sorry,
personal
moving on.
experience from others.
So one I'm going to bring up that I was looking at, and again, you said this a very short list, so
Yeah.
not a whole lot to talk about here, but I think this is something that we all can agree on. Hit registration and pip calculation is incorrect, and they have fixed that.
That's good. That's really good. And it is a problem. I mean,
Sorry,
especially that's a part
let
of
me
netcode
rephrase.
probably too.
They have fixed that.
Fixed, yes.
Use lag
Fixed.
pip, fools. Ugh.
Well, see, and that's the problem too, is like even on lag pip, there is, and that hit registration thing, like I think part of it has to do with the netcode issues,
Yeah.
which like that I've that Jonathan Winter's video about netcode is really eye-opening if for people who unaware of like the netcode problems in combat. Like it's worse in FPS, but it's a small thing in the aerial combat in the game, and like that's an increment and a small step towards helping that out. So that's really good to see that they're working on that, because especially at the high levels, like at the high levels of space combat, I mean, like we were doing stuff the other day, and like if you get in a nimble ship that has some good movement, you're gonna start. And I heard Kelbeck saying it and Overseer saying it, like I'm hitting him, but like there's no damage being done. That's the exact problem right there, is
So-
because it's either netcode or it's that hit registration.
There was one over on this side that I saw that I didn't get a chance to. All right. Didn't get a chance to mention. Let me see if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, that's not it. All right. Yep. Multi-vehicle PU AC vehicles hit registration. Players with high ping will experience high time to kill and phantom hits even after weapon fire has stopped.
That's good. That's a good fix. Like,
Yeah.
the only thing I'll say about that, and like this comes from the FPS background of like how FPS shooters work with it, with high ping, is like if you're playing on high ping, like purposefully, I almost feel like you sometimes should like understand you're going to deal with some problems like that. Like in like Apex Legends, for
Yeah.
example, like if you went over to a high ping, you would have some advantages by being on high ping, but you would also have some disadvantages by playing on high ping. And at the competitive spot in Apex, like you would have like some Australian pros. They had to play on American servers because their queue times were too long because there's not enough like people at that level in Australia. And so they have to deal with high ping in American servers. And so they get the benefit of being around a wall and like not getting shot, but they also get the downside of being shot when they're around the wall. So and they kind of take that with the sense of like, well, this is what I have to deal with if I want to be able to play what I want to play. So like it's good that that's fixed, especially like the ghost hits and stuff, but at the same time, like if somebody in a EU server is coming over to an American server, they need to understand, like you have to expect there's going to be even if it's at the minuscule amount, like the servers are here in America, you are in England. It takes time for the wires and the signals. Like that seems obvious to me.
I mean milliseconds, but yeah.
But still, like that distance matters. My 60 ping average versus his 170 ping, that's more than double ping. That should start to, you will start to see some things.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we're at the level of technology to where you just have no difference, like 300 ping versus 10 ping, never a difference. I don't think we're there yet. Maybe in like 15 years, 20 years.
I mean,
But
theoretically speaking, the person with the lowest ping means they can communicate with the server the fastest. So if you have 120 ping and I have 60 ping, and I see you, and we pull the trigger at the same time, and my client registers that I killed you first, my client is going to report to the server before yours, even if we kill each other at the same time. Now, we kill each other at the same time, my client reports that you're dead before your client reports that I'm dead, and then there's going to be like this, the server's going to do this calculation, right? And I don't entirely know exactly all the details behind that, but it's going to try and figure out who actually killed who first, and then it will feed both clients the result. This happens so lightning fast that it's, literally milliseconds of time. The amount of time it takes to calculate that is, 1/10 of a second at the very least. And
normally.
And 1/10
In
of a
Star
second, by the way,
Citizen.
right? 1/10 of a second, by the way, is what 100 milliseconds? So 100 ms at the very least.
Translate that to Star Citizen time, and that's at least a minute and a half to 3 minutes lag time before you see the result.
The business
Well,
don't
and
forget.
sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes
no,
it's 3 minutes and then
that's
you die.
Yeah.
That's a bit excessive, and that's a whole different scenario. I'm mostly talking in the realm of FPS as the example.
Yeah.
Because I've had situations where my client will report that I killed someone, and I don't know what's going on, but it'll report that I killed someone. I get the markers, I get the sound effects, I even get the physical slump of the character model. And then next thing I know, he pops back up as if nothing happened, and then he's fine. And I'm the one that dies.
And that's why the FPS in this, like when it comes to combat in this game, the FPS is like it can be very hard to deal with because of
So-
that right
It
there.
very much
But-
is. I mean, look at last night. Like Keezy and I ran into a contested zone, and I was like, "Oh God, there's bad desync." I was like, "We're probably already dead," and we ran around. 3 minutes later, we died.
Yep. And the same
would-
happens in ships. I mean, there's times Stompy and I will be flying around, around Grim. You bump into an asteroid on accident and you're like, "Whoa, I didn't die. That's crazy." And then you're like standing in the Grim Hex hangars and you just fucking fall over dead because of that asteroid 5 minutes ago. It does happen, and it's happened in space combat too. It happens a lot less
Here's
in
the thing.
space combat, but
It even happens in U.S. servers where ping isn't as high.
True.
So it's
Yeah.
like, is that really?
Is it a high
issue
ping
at that point?
problem? Yeah.
Is it a high ping
really?
problem? Because like I'll be banging in there with a really good ping, and I'm still dealing with that issue. But that's also that server desync that we're talking about, which goes to a different level. But
Yeah, it's
So
that a fix like that is good to see that it's like be like noticed, but sometimes I'm like you just said, are they sugarcoating it as another problem that it's not actually, just to like make
So
you
I
feel
mean,
good?
as you guys can see, we have literally multiple posts. I'm pretty certain there's at least maybe 100, 150 different bug fixes coming in 4.0.1 alone. Okay, and that's not even counting all the different all the different bug fixes between the 9th and the 22nd. There are posts in here that we haven't even seen yet. Okay, so these are a lot of bug fixes that are coming. Which I can
it's 100 bug
appreciate
fixes,
100%.
but a release date's not one of them.
That's not a bug. That's intended.
That's a feature.
Yeah.
That is the feature.
So I'm happy to see this. Obviously, we didn't touch on all of them. If we had touched on all of them, we'd be here literally all day, all night. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. There again, if you are interested in seeing this, I put today's bug post, Spectrum post in the chat. That's the link that you see there. Feel free to go ahead and read that for yourself. You can Google search the 9th, January 9th post if you like. But yeah, so I think we're going to go and wrap this up. Just to kind of go over the details about the channel real quick. we're going to be making some changes. This stream, this podcast is going to stay. Nothing is going to change. Probably maybe a little bit of the format, given that we're changing the parent channel around a little bit. We're going to put more content on here. It's not just going to be podcast live streams like this. We're going to be doing some video stuff that is going to be very specific. In this case, very specific to our organization. So instead of this being the Watchtower Chronicles, you guys will notice the name change and the associated graphics will change in accordance with our organization. This will be the Hellstern Interstellar Tactics Discord server, where we will be posting videos and content based on our experiences in the game. Some of it could be machinima, some of it could be live gameplay, it might be talks or other recorded podcasts that we've done, and then we just want to get it out. Maybe we...
It may be me breaking down why all Star Citizen content creators don't really know shit about the game. Because
could be.
the more and more I watch them, the more and more I realize me, a two-year player of the game, knows fucking 30 times more about this game than them.
And you know, on that note, we might be doing some reacts. I mean, we might be pulling up some other content creators
I'd be up for that.
and
juice.
kind of breaking apart what they talk about and giving our own input on that.
Yeah.
So, if you're interested in that, start follow the channel, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up on this video if you thought that we deserve it, and definitely leave us a comment because we are very interested to know your thoughts.
Go get Firebird. Go get a Firebird.
On this
Check the link in
content,
chat.
past streams, and streams coming up. So, on that note, we will go ahead and bring things to a close. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Just want to make that known. And we will see you next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
They call him Bob, he's flying high. Thinks he's safe just passing by. Mining rocks, stacking loot. But in the verse, there's no dispute. He sees the black, thinks it's his own. But out here, you ain't alone. A ship appears on his 6 PvP, a pirate's fix. Oh, Bob, this ain't a solo show. In the verse, you reap what you sow. You can cry, you can plead, but in Star Citizen we all believe. So pack your salt and fly away. There's no room for Bobs today. Bob's in chat, he's raising hell. Reapers all, you're bound to fail. But out here the code is clear. Survive the fight or disappear. He calls for peace but grabs his gun. Can't accept what he's become. A privileged mind with no regard. But in this space it's playing hard. Oh, Bob, this ain't a solo show. In the verse you reap what you sow. You can cry, you can plead, but in Star Citizen we all believe. So pack your salt and fly away. There's no room for Bobs today. In the verse the rules are tough. You think you're safe, but it's rough. No one promised you a shield. Out here we take the field. Adapt or fade, that's how it goes. No safe zones in the black we roam. Bob's drifting now, his ship is gone. Another lesson learned, but not for long. He'll respawn, he'll try again. But in this verse, it's sink or win. So to the Bobs who think they're old, remember space is a shared road. Out here, it's fight or flight, and every day's a brand new fight. Oh, Bob, this ain't a solo show. In the verse, you reap what you sow. You can cry, you can plead, but in Star Citizen we all believe. So pack your salt and fly away. There's no room for Bobs today. So Bob, take heed, it's time to learn. The universe is wild, no safe return. Out here it's live or die, underneath the endless sky. So change your ways or drift alone. In Star Citizen it's the unknown. No place for privilege, no place to hide. In this universe you can't just ride. So fly on, Bob, find your way. But remember, here we all must pay.